Alright guys, I finally got my hands on a 22 Magnum pistol here, so we can do some 22 mag gel tests out of a pistol. And that was made possible by Outdoor Rec. He loaned me this pistol so I could do the review video I just did, and then also this gel test video, so I appreciate that, and make sure you guys go and check them out. So if you've been watching the channel much this year or the later half of last year, I've been doing some 22 Magnum gel tests out of rifles. We tested all these that you see here and more. This is what I have with me today to do out of the pistol. Now, I can probably borrow this again in the future to do the other ones that I've tested that are not here today. It's just on those, I'm trying to do 100-yard videos, 50 and 100-yard gel test videos coming up, as I've been saying in those rifle videos. So I have only a few of the others that I don't have with me, and that's why they're not with me today, because I need to save those to do the 100-yard videos. Of course, I'll be testing these in the 100-yard videos as well, but it kind of works out anyways, because I'm only going to have so much room in these blocks to put these in, so that's about all we can test today anyways. So I mean, these are probably the most popular ones that you guys want to see out of the pistol anyways, but somewhere down the road I probably will get to test the remainder out of the pistol as well. So if you don't want to miss that or those 100-yard videos with the rifle, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. That is 10% Knox Ballistics gelatin. You can see the cooler here. We are temperature controlled as always when it's above freezing. Here's the BB calibration. We're coming in at 3.1 inches today. Now make sure you check out that review video. You'll also want to check it out because I'm not going to put chrono data in here. I'm a little pressed for time. It's getting dark out. If you want to see the chronograph results from these, I did include those in the review video. So if you want to catch that, I'll put a link in the description for that, or anything 22 Magnum and 22 LR, or even 17 HMR. You can just check out the 22 playlist on the channel. Everything rimfire's in there. Also, just remembered we got a little bonus here too. He sent me with these Winchester soft point hollow points there. I'll throw up a picture to show you what that is, just the bulk pack there. So we're going to test this out in the block as well. And then these are CCI Maxi mags that he also sent me here with. So we'll test some of those out in the block too. So first up, we'll do this Hornady Critical Defense 45 grain FTX. Alright. Obviously there's your entry. There's that. These are 11 to 12 inches depending on which way you measure it. From here to there it's 11. If you flip it, the edges taper a little, and then from that edge to that edge it's about 12 inches. So we got right about 11, 10 and a half, 11 inches of penetration there. You can see it fully mushroomed. Permanent cavity. There's from the side there. All right, let's try. Now we'll try the gold dots. Keep forgetting this thing was shooting off to the left for me today. I meant to be coming in more over here. So that one came in directly under the gold dot. Hornady Critical Defense, and there's your gold dot. Gives us a good comparison of the permanent cavity there though, and you can see they both traveled, well, it looks like about 10 and a half inches. I'll get a more official measurement for you guys when we're done here. Alright, so now we'll try this 35 grain Cci A22. These are a little soft point, is what they got on them. So the entry there is the lowest one. No expansion. You can see it right there. So that's also why we got, well, part of the reason we got further penetration at least is because there's no expansion there. All right, now the Hornady 30 grain VMAX. Yep. Came out the top. Well, let me retake that. Try to come in a little lower there. But you can see it's a pretty massive cavity. I think that's the winner there of the largest permanent cavity. Let me try one more. So the entry is just below that one. And we have a capture this time. Ooh, that did some weird crap. So somebody's going to war over there. There it is there, turned around backwards. Nose didn't really expand, it just kind of bent. You know, those are designed for rifles. I'm surprised, honestly, they're doing this well out of the pistol though, because that's also pretty large. You know, it's still a pretty large permanent cavity there. It looks like the top one did a little better, so I think the top one probably actually expanded, whereas that one, well, it could have been a tumble. That might be what's happening, but this top one definitely has a larger permanent cavity than the one below it does. Although the one below it's still pretty big. You can see they both shed the ballistic tip. Alright, so now we'll do that CCI Maxi mag hollow point that he sent me with, and then also the Winchester 40 grain soft nose soft point hollow point that he sent me with. Alright, well, I missed the side there with that Maxi mag. Yeah, so I got a couple more of those. We'll take another shot, and what the heck happened here? So that was that Winchester jacketed, or not, excuse me, the freaking soft point hollow point. And I don't know what happened there. It looks like it came out the side, I guess. You can see it bounced down there. And I don't see it, so we'll retake both of them. Jeez. It's like I hit the same spot. I think I did. Yep, 1-2. So, by the way, first shot Maxi mag, second shot the Winchester in question. Same thing over here, Maxi mag, Winchester. So you can actually see that cavity there, and it did nothing. And then it tumbled, which is why it's backwards. I always try to educate people about this in my gel test videos. Just because you see a massive cavity like that doesn't mean that the bullet's awesome and whatnot. And this is a prime example. Zero expansion, but massive cavity. And then you can see it's skinny here. That's because it just traveled, and then it flipped. And when it does that, it causes a lot of disruption and damage. So that's why you got that there.
The point being, don't be fooled by a bullet yawing or tumbling and thus creating an awesome wound track that it is an awesome defense round. Prime example of this, I've seen a lot of YouTubers test the Federal 22 punch. And in a lot of the tests, it does a lot of damage, including my own and some of the shots I took, because it tends to yaw or tumble. And when a bullet does that, it creates a large permanent wound cavity. However, I noticed with not only those but others, but in speaking of the 22 punch, for example, not all of them tumble. So in a defensive situation, if your rounds that hit your attacker do not tumble, then you are not going to get that awesome cavity. So ideally, you would want to test multiple shots into a block to see if they're going to repeatedly tumble or yaw every shot to create that giant wound cavity. If not, it's not such a great option. So don't be fooled by that is my point.
Then you can see the line here from that Winchester, which is right there. It's facing forward, and the nose flattened out some. So try to see, let me flip this up, see if we can see. Come on. Permanent cavity, which is, where is that? One of those up in there. It's a mess now. Let me get a tape measure and we'll get a measure on these. All right, so the Hornady critical defense coming in there a little bit past 10.5. The gold dot went just shy of that, so we're gonna call that 10.5. Then what do we have here? Then right there is that A22, which did not expand and thus traveled about 14 inches. And then down in here we have the Hornady VMAX that we did capture that tumbled, and the nose was distorted a little bit, coming in at about 13 inches there. Because remember, the first one came out the top and we lost it. Then let's see here. So then where'd we go there? Yeah. The Maxi Mag, 21 inches because it did not expand at all. So basically it was just like an FMJ, but it's actually still really impressive it went that far because of that tumble, because these tumbles always really slow them down. So 21 inches of penetration there due to no expansion, which is impressive because it tumbled. Then that Winchester there, 12.5. Yep. Like I said, guys, if you want to know the velocities that these things are coming out of that PMR30 at, make sure you go check out the review video where I sent them all over the chrono for you. That being said, let me grab my scale and micrometer and we'll get a weight and measurement on these. So here's your critical defense. Pretty large diameter. Haven't measured it yet, but pretty big for a 22. 45.6 grains. Largest diameter there, a big part and due to that tip there, but you can see there's some copper there almost as far out. That's coming in at 0.398 inches. So basically 40 caliber there, almost doubled in size. There's a gold dot. This thing is just mangled, but it's still kind of held together there. Retained weight 37.12, somewhere around there. Diameter on that one 0.301, so 30 caliber. Now here's the A22. There's not a lot to see there. Slight deformation of the front. Not going to bother with a measurement on that because we know it's still 22 caliber. Timed out on this thing. 35 grains even. Hornady VMAX. So coming in a little wider than 22 caliber there because they're squished out, but you know, not a whole lot. I don't think I'm going to bother with measuring that one either. Just kind of, I mean, you see what happened. 29.9 retained. Maxi Mag hollow point, no expansion. 40.4, that little extra is probably from that gel down in the tip. Then there's that Winchester that sort of bulk pack there. You can see it flattened out a little bit. Obviously that's only going to be a little larger than 22 caliber. Retained weight 37.5. I mean, we're just over 22 there, so there's the end result on all those up close. Left to right, you got the Hornady critical defense with the FTX bullet. Then you have the gold dot, then the A22, then the CCI VMAX, then the CCI Maxi Mag, and then that Winchester. If you guys want to get you one of these calipers or the scale or even the nocks that I use to make the gelatin, anything you see in my videos, links in the description. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, I got some denim with me. Not everyone's a fan of the whole denim test, but I am. It's certainly a hell of a test to test reliable expansion. Doesn't get much harder than 4 layers of denim. So I got these blocks turned around so we have the back side block on the front now. So we got a mostly clear block, and I'm going to put these top 3, what I would consider the top 3 performers of the day. The Hornady Critical Defense, the Gold Dot, and that VMAX. We're going to send a couple of those each through 4 layers of denim here and see what happens. All right, I had to study this for a second to find where everything was here. So these two should have been the critical defense. These two, the gold dot. These two, the VMAX. Came in high here. That's probably why. Well, it's all contained actually. So that's a real nice permanent cavity there, at least for a few inches from this critical defense. Almost lost it. I don't even feel the metal. It's just under the gel there, bubbled up. Then the other one came directly under it right there. Looks like they both expanded, at least some. Then our gold dots here. Okay, I'll flip this over and take a look too. So one of those gold dots is right there. The other one's stuck in between the blocks down here. VMAX, again, massive cavity. And it's long too. And then the second shot come in just below it, and you can see it did pretty much the same thing. There's a tip from one. There's a tip from the top one. That second one hit the bottom, bounced, and sitting right there. Where did this first one go? Oh, right there's the first one. Right there's the second one. So, oh, there's that one that fell out, that gold dot stuck in between. There's from the bottom, so now you got the VMAX, the gold dots, and then the critical defense right there. Those VMAX are awesome out of the pistol, man. And they penetrate too. There they are. I'm more impressed what they did through the denim, man. So there's the critical defense, and those still mushroomed nicely. There's the gold dots, a little more controlled it would seem after it passes through denim compared to bare block, where that one we had was just all mangled. And there's the VMAX. I think those just do so much damage because, well, they probably, you know, the fastest round, obviously. But on top of that, I think they hit and they just go chaotic, and they probably tumble like crazy and whatnot. So I think that's what all that's from, unless that's all just velocity. But there's no way with those being deformed like that they're just keep going straight like that. They got to be tumbling and crap. So a mixture of the velocity and the fact that they are yawing and tumbling has got to be why they're doing so much damage. That's not what I expected though. So that's really good that at these much lower pistol velocities. Again, check out the review video linked in the description, video prior to this, where I got the chrono results. But I'm really surprised that at those lower velocities, those things are still expanding. So that should mean at 100 yards, those are going to do pretty good out of a rifle. Same thing with both of these as well. I'd expect them to perform at 100 yards since they're doing so out of the pistol at close range here. It'd be similar results in velocity, pistol close range compared to rifle at 100 yards. That's going to do it, guys. Big thanks again to Outdoor Rec for loaning me this PMR30 so I could do this test and the review video as well. As I said, if anything piques your interest in the video, link in the description for most of the stuff you'll see me use. I want to thank you guys for watching. As I said in the beginning, I will probably in the future date, whether it be this or something I get myself, I'll be able to do more 22 Magnum pistol gel tests coming up. But outside of this, the next scheduled and planned things for 22 WMR, 22 Magnum is going to be 50 and 100 yard gel tests out of the rifle. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching as always, and I hope to see you on the next one.